You? Tell us something you think you want us to do when we leave here tonight.
Something that you don't know about me. Um, oh, maybe this might be good. When I started this campaign, at first I was excited, but maybe a few weeks later, I stopped answering my organizer phone call. But I'm gonna give you a little story why, and then a lot. Some people might be like, "Oh wow, I understand." Um, when I was very excited about what was going on, like I went back to my family because I really didn't know what a union was. Like I always heard about it. I heard some of my friends who was like in construction or in nursing. They were just like, "Oh, you get benefits, more money, sick days." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, that sounds good. I gotta find me a job with a union. Nice." But whatever. I still didn't know the whole background and what it actually mean and how much power, a union has. So like I went back to like my grandmother, grandma, that's grandma. My grandmother raised me. So at a certain point she raised me. So, I went to grandma, I was like telling her about this, like, changing stuff in the workplace. And she's like, and I was like, what you think about fast food having a union? My grandmother told me, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Like, you might lose your job. I don't think you should be doing this. Y'all want to know where my grandmother worked at? The U.S. Post Office. So she was just so, but I'm like, wait, you're in a union. I don't get it. So I was a little confused, but at the same time, that's grandma. Whatever grandma say, I'ma do. Like, okay, grandma, we ain't gonna mess with the money. But then something was just like, no, this sounds too good to not just to walk away and not really get more information. So I went to my aunt who works for Verizon, and then she has a union, and my aunt was like, "What? Unions are all the way to go. Like, do it. You gotta do it. You must fight. I believe y'all do deserve a union." I'm like, now I'm just all messed up. I'm just like, what? But then something just clicked in me. Like, you know what? Somebody gotta break the ice. I'ma try it. I don't care. Like, I ain't trying to be in KFC forever. If I get fired, I get fired. But at least I know I tried. So that was my. So that's something that I know I didn't get to tell you guys. I hope you like that story. And what was that? Oh, and one thing I tell you guys to leave here tonight is just keep supporting us. To keep supporting all of us. It's not just about low wage workers. It's about your city, your community, your state, and your country. So it's like whatever it is that's out there, just keep fighting, because without you guys, I don't think I would have kept fighting. So like, just keep supporting everybody.
Well, yeah, I also have family members that aren't 100% supportive of, like, struggles that I've tried to help out with. And, like, the thing is, my mom, she's actually very conservative, and because I live in Texas, and it's, like, a thing there. And, yeah. And the thing is, though, with my mom, like, in a weird way, even though she's very, like, Republican, she watches Fox News all the time. And, okay.
This on TV, brother.
What? Don't want.
Oh.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Anyhow, in a weird way, it's like she really is what inspired me to get involved with this, because, like, for all my childhood, like, I've always watched my mom, like, come home from work, and she would always just be so, like, beaten down about how tough it is working where she does. Like, she's a secretary, and she'd always come home, like, telling me, like, how, like, she'd just be venting about how her boss, like, just treats her like a machine and expects so much from her, and just she gets so, like, less and less money every year. And it's just, the thing is that I hope everybody else could also understand from that is, even though there are people that disagree and have differences and can be even like the most backwards, reactionary kind of people, at the end of the day, they're still going through the same struggle, like the working class struggle as everybody else. And they might not like realize it, but whenever they hear like the ideas of working people having like power over their own lives and having control of the situation, even if they're still trapped in this backwards mentality, it really has the power to like bring out in them some support. Because whenever I talk to my mom about it, like if I put like a communist label on it, then she's gonna like lash out about it. But if I talk like in general terms about like people having control over the workplace and being able to vote on like policy in the workplace, like she usually just tends to agree with it. And she's like really like I said, she's like a conservative Tea Party kind of person otherwise. But whenever I talk about like, don't you think like people should be able to like make some of these decisions and, you know, not have somebody make it for them? And she's like, it's like all these people, I mean, I really doubt my mom is that different than any of these other people. And these people will agree with like this idea because, I mean, it's not just a matter of opinions, it's just a matter of the reality of the world we live in, is that we need a world where people have control over their own lives. And it doesn't matter how backwards they are, anybody can understand that.
Well, you know, these fights have put race, class, and inequality as a part of the national and international narrative. And I think that that's very, very important. Now what we need to do is have some real concrete victories so people can see that wherever they are, whether it's at KFC or Domino's, at Jimmy John's, or at a local warehouse, that if they organize, they come together, they can win. 20 years ago, you know what? There was this decline in the power of unions, and now we see that power rising again in the 21st century through these fights. So we need to continue that.
Okay, personal thing. I'm from Buffalo, New York, not Minnesota. Anybody here from Buffalo? No?
No. Buffalo, hey.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed. Oh, well. Okay. Well, I am anyway. All right. Completely different direction. I'm going to give a pitch for a project I'm involved in because, like, I can't top any of that stuff. And I'm a media person, and as you can tell from Workday, Minnesota, and so on, I've been you think broadly about media, and I know you're talking about the people's world and so on and what to do with it and so on. I guess it sounded like. I'm involved in a project called Worksite Network, which is an over-the-top TV labor news project. It hasn't happened yet, but we're hoping to make it happen. So imagine labor news on Netflix, except not really, you know. Right? And so will be a menu-driven thing, you know, available on universally on any device, you know, that can get to the internet. There will be a you know, menu of programming. Probably the flagship thing will be Worksite Network News, a half-hour news thing. But things will be, we're not dumb. Things will be broken up and for social media purposes into small segments. But we intend to have it a place where we'll house labor documentaries, you know, which there still are a lot being made, and so on. I won't take any more time, but you know, it's not happening yet. But you know, I'm happy you said awesome. Just trying to get, you know, this off the ground and kind of sounding it out. We're trying to get money out of unions. We had some pretty big meetings so far in Washington D.C. about this and with other stuff. So I hope someday I will be able. You'll see it. So there you have it.
Something about me is I love to sing Beyonce, so if anybody know if it's a karaoke around here, let me know. But no, serious, and join me also. Some serious though, most people from St. Louis in the back of the room wouldn't know this, but this campaign has really changed me and made me into a real leader. this campaign has gave me more of power to stand up for myself. I don't think if the Fight for 15 never came around, of course I still would have been involved, but I don't know how strong I would say myself is, if that makes sense. It even taught me things that I never knew, such as what a union is. I come from a family, no family members in a union, so I'm probably the first to even know what a union is in my family, and to know what a union can do for your family, what a union can do for your community, and what it can do for your neighborhood. Is really not only taught me, but this campaign has taught a lot of other people, and especially a lot of colored people. A lot of colored people can finally say that they didn't stood up for something. They didn't stood up for themselves, that they didn't just get walked over, and they know what a union is. So I really do just appreciate this campaign, because it's teaching us also. It's not just having us, go out and stand up for ourselves. It's also teaching us to teach the next person. So that's something that I definitely appreciate from it.
Well, something about myself is that I love to swim. So that's one thing. And not only that, but I compete in swimming. So there you go. At this ripe old age. I just think that the power of stories and what we heard tonight is it moves people. And that's kind of the format we try to provide at People's World, to create and have that space for people to tell their stories, and to do it with an eye of winning more people over to the fight, because like your grandmother, or like my family, or like our neighbors may not be familiar with unions. It's a small percentage in our country that's organized. But I think once you start scratching that surface, which I think stories help to do, people start to move. And that's what we try to do at People's World. Win people over to fighting for racial equality. Win people over to fighting for gender equality. So that's what we try to do. Tell the stories, but with an eye of broadening and reaching out and pulling more people into the good fight.
Thank you. So, are we ready for more unity, more organizing, more justice? Are we ready? So remember, justice, as Dr. Cornel West has said, justice is just showing love in public. So you can show a little love and can be a part of the fight to save Rasheen's job, and make a call tonight. You can make a call tonight or during the weekend. Will people start handing these out? We want you to call the manager at Jimmy John's. Well, what's the slogan for Jimmy John's? Freaky fast, make the call. Use the first number, because I think the second number Rasheen told us is not quite right. Freaky fast, make the call. And I just want to say that we want the viewers who are watching this on the live stream to go to peoplesworld.org. Get on peoplesworld.org. Read about these struggles. Share it with your friends and family. And for the viewers of the live stream, we will return tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And we're sorry to say that you will not be joining us at a reception to honor our panel down at the Inner Circle on the first floor. Good night.
Next, a discussion on the efforts to ban same-sex marriages. Then we'll show you the 1987 news briefing by new White House